think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Time I do the work, one step ahead, never reverse. Blessed and I'm cursed, that's right, 'cause I put in the time, I put in the time. Sunset, sunrise, I did it again. Can't satisfy hunger inside to thrive. I put in the time. Like a fine wine, I put in the time. Every day more beautiful than the one I left behind. Ain't got time to sit and cry. Gonna fall before I fly, but don't rise. Give me the whole damn elephant in one bite. License to hunt and kill, yeah, this is your invite. You keeping up with me, you're 9 to 5, that sounds nice. I'm 10 to 10 while you sleep, I run the whole night. I put in the time, I do the work, one step ahead, never reverse. Blessed and I'm cursed, that's right, 'cause I put in the time, I put in the time. Sunset, sunrise, I did it again. Can't satisfy hunger inside to thrive. I put in the time. Move a mountain, gotta do the work. You wanna move a mountain, then you gotta get into some dirt. Push through the pain and hurt, don't let it break take you first now. You trying to ride a rocket straight to the sun. Gonna burn, baby, burn. Too green, too young. Gotta put in the time and sweat and carry that cross. Have you been to hell and back? Do you know just what it costs? 'Cause I put in the time, I do the work. One step ahead, never reverse. Blessed and I'm cursed, that's right. 'Cause I put in the time, I put in the time. Sunset, sunrise, I did it again. Can't compromise this drive inside to thrive. I put in the time. Wanna move a mountain, gotta do the work. Wanna move a mountain, gotta get into the dirt. Takes time. You wanna move a mountain, you gotta do the work. You wanna move a mountain, gotta get into the dirt. Takes time. Put the time in. You wanna move a mountain, you gotta do the work. You wanna move a mountain, gotta get into the dirt. Takes time. Put the time in. I woke up feeling like this gon' be my day. I got that pumping fire every step I take. Living that wild life, not stopping out no way. Just seeing green lights won't never touch the brakes. Let me tell you something. 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 Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. This place is jumping off hard as it can get. No, we won't ever stop dancing on the edge. We like it dangerous, we like to see you split. Turn up another notch, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me tell you something. 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 Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Right now, right now. Got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Got a real good feeling. Right now, right now. 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 I'm taking my moment, don't matter how it was. No regrets, no matter how hard it gets. I'm going for greatness. Going for greatness. Here I go, here I go, here I go now. Blast off, about to leave the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm gone. But don't blink, you might miss it. Mode set to launch. Higher, 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 higher. Cooking and smoking, spitting fire. Say what you will, call me a liar. Don't believe me, look in my eye. Better suit up for a showdown. Give me that kingdom, hand me my crown. This is my time, I've waited long enough. I'm taking my moment, don't matter how it was. No regrets, no matter how hard it gets. I'm going for greatness. This is my time, I've waited long enough. I'm taking my moment, don't matter how it was. No regrets, no matter how hard it gets. I'm going for greatness.
Hello, hello, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's match. I'm your host, Saminami, and tonight it's going to be Thomas College versus Cleveland State University. The Terriers versus the Vikings as we go into this first week's playoff matches. Now we're going to be starting ourselves here on the Antarctic Peninsula. Here, it's going to be taking place inside the subterranean area where point will be down on the ground. First to get 2 out of the 3 points of this entire map will win. 2 out of the 3 rounds will win the map. Excuse me. They're practically one and the same, believe it or not, but some people like the terminology. Nonetheless, here we're going to be having the Vikings, Cleveland State University on Team Blue, while on Team Red, it's going to be Thomas College. Now, there possibly is a DC here. Not entirely sure what's going on. Not sure where the pause was coming in exactly for, if someone DC'd automatically. But there is appearing to be some audio issues. That makes things a bit problematic, and of course the order is not the way I like it. No. But nonetheless, we are here to play the game and get it going. We're going to be taking a look here from, or not. We will not be going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. From what I can see here, we are about to get underway, but it's just one of those where the host does not have full control of what they're doing. Excuse me.
Round 1. Capture.
Doors have opened and they're going immediately here. Take a look at Aquarium that's going to be leading the charge. One of the fan favorites as we were seeing here earlier on in the chat. Going to be meeting up against Windsor here, assisted by the Lucio. But little do they know that, unbeknownst to them, they're getting pushed in on here, and now being forced back as a group. This could be very dangerous for the Vikings here, but Stargaze is actually trying to stay it back. As you can see him pushing on through the Williams, not having much luck here, as Stargate's over to get the first pick, but he gets traded back there by Pranksters, who's on the tour. Reaper here also trying to do their best, but gets put out. Unfortunately for the Terriers here, they seem to have just been out-pressured, not able to keep the team alive here. They could be running for their life, does get the escape going, and now going to be starting to make their way back on over with the rest of the team. Going to be taking a look here from the side of the Vikings. Going to be setting up right underneath here. Take a look at how they're putting themselves so close to make sure that no one can really get point touch. Ball comes on up, and they're going to immediately in with the coalescence here. Captain Jr. is able to help assist, get Azukita, Jigabi, and Aquarian down. Turret, however, does trade him on back with Prankster finding 2. Those two down will be a little bit problematic for the side of the Vikings here, as they're going to need either a taxi or just make sure they come back quickly. But the characters do have their dash abilities here, so they won't be in much of any trouble. Now you're going to have to see here from the Terriers, they're going for a large, wide flank, probably going in through the mid underneath here. Take a look at how they're going to be trying to push on into this fight. And ready for the drop here. See Winter go immediately on in. Jay Gibby has been walled off, but they're able to stay alive. Ozzy Kid is going to be moving their way on in with Reaper here momentarily, as both sides have executed their beat drop. Bog here is the one that's in the most dire situation, trying to run around staying alive, but they have to have some assistance from the rest of their teams to get this Torb here, who's able to go on down just before they get caught up from behind here. Their goal is to stay alive as long as possible on the point, and they're doing it very, very well here, as they're able to actually not only stay alive, but win the fight in the long run. Now I'm going to be looking, it's the last 10 seconds remaining here for the capture of the point. Thomas College here is going to have to start getting moving in. You're going to be seeing Napoleon the first to go in, and with the Annihilation ready to go, has to start with some initiation going in here. Annihilation from either side coming on out. It's going to be an interesting fight here, as we're going to be seeing either side looking for picks, but it does show the Terriers are down by many. As Torb falls, there's no one else to get on the point. Ladies and gentlemen, round number one goes to the Vikings here.
Score 1-0.
Not the most ideal here for Thomas College, but for Cleveland State University, that is better than expected, I believe. They were looking to win those fights, but some of them could have been very losable, yet they stuck to their callouts, being able to utilize their communication to stay on top. And with this being the home team's map pick as well, they're able to take a really big edge against the Terriers here by being able to play on a map they're comfortable with. So now going to be making their way here towards the next point. We will be seeing the teleport go on through before swapping over to the Reaper again. It's going to be a quick engagement here on the high ground, but what's going on the flank here? We're going to be seeing Captain Junior here having the off angle as the action takes place front and center. It is one after the other falling down like dominoes. Now that's going to be a quick capture there by the side of the Vikings. And you're going to be seeing them also try to push up here with the orb. Orb's going to be able to give you a lot of ult charge going on into this. But Swagmaster has to be very careful, as they're playing with fire. Could have been easily eliminated, causing one person to be down in the fight. Got a big build up here, looking for a hit with the railgun. Just needs to find a beautiful headshot right into the body of Pranksters. That's going to pierce right through, and now you're seeing Napoleon in a bit of danger here. The healers, like Valkyrie, are struggling to try to stay alive. Jay Gibby playing in the backline, Lucio v. Lucio, as Gob wants to return the favor, and does find it. Bog, I mean, just saving the point from being captured over to the Terriers, but Thomas College here is really struggling. We're going to have to probably see some swap-ups here from them after this ultimate goes in if they cannot get any value. Maybe something like a Hanzo, maybe something like a Bastion. Some more spam damage to go in with them. Nonetheless, they are going to be working with their bread and butter here, and probably going to be forcing a point fight here momentarily. Napoleon's going to be leading the charge, but Winter's not one to be deterred, especially with Annihilation online, ready to run on in with complete aggression, shutting down the beat drop, finding the eliminations that they're looking for. Technicality at its finest there from Stargaze and Swagmaster to assist Winter in just demolishing the opposition there. Now, as for Thomas College, they're coming down to, once again to last 10 seconds. They were starting to shine prior, but they're going to have to do it again. They're going to have to work some sort of magic going around here. And slow down is one thing you don't have to deal with. Wall coming on out as well as the freeze. It's not looking too good. And now we're going to be seeing here from the side of the Vikings. They get one out off, but it's a Torball to meet their makers. Does the damage there, looking for a Bog, trying to move on in against Aquarian. Does find the kill before falling themselves. And there's no going to be left to touch. Map number 1 goes to Cleveland. That was a very immediate match, I might say there. And without a doubt, Swagmasters yoinking the play of the game there by helping the team stay alive through this wall and Annihilation, just fully enabling his team to push through all thick and thin situations. With that, we're going to be hitting a quick break here, ladies and gents, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
savage, I'm a fighter, making noise in the streets. Haymakers like a fire, throwing hooks to a beat. I got my finger on my pulse, it's steady. I was built for the speed. Automatic shift gears, I'm ready. Headstrong, I believe. When I close my eyes and count to 10, all I feel is the adrenaline. And when the pain begins to set, all I hear is, long live the champion. Long live the champion. Long live the champion. Long live the champion. Call me names, call me reckless. Crash through like a storm. Filled with fury, I'm relentless. Like a soldier at war. Doesn't matter if the world is shaking. I don't flinch, not a sound. And when everyone around is breaking, I'm a stone in the ground. When I close my eyes and count to 10, all I feel is the adrenaline. And when the pain begins to set, all I hear is, long live the champion. Long live the champion. Long live the champion. Long live the champion. Close my eyes and count to 10. All I feel is the adrenaline. And when the pain begins to set, all I hear is, long live the champion. Long live the champion. Long live the
Welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen. We are headed over to Shambali. Now, part of here located in Nepal here, we are going to be making our way on Escort. Now, for those of you that don't really understand what Escort is, okay, but fear not, as I will break it down. Escort is a game mode where you have to try to push a cart to a destination here. There are 3 destinations across the map, each of them known as checkpoints. The first checkpoint will award team 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The second will award 1 minute 30. The goal here is to make it to the final destination over yonder in front of the temple's monastery. If the attacking side team can do so, they will be able to switch sides and try to play for the defense. Both sides' goal is to make sure they can stop the other from getting to the final destination. Whoever reaches farthest will win the map. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at how this is going to break on down. Tom's College still on the attack, while the Vikings are going to be on the defensive. No change in strategy here from either side. However, we do see Valkyrie has been swapped over to the attacker's role now, or the DPS role, I should say. While Playmaster is now on support. couple of swaps out and around will get them moving, but you're going to be seeing this play stay on point here, especially as we're going to be moving their way now to the high ground. The wall comes out against Quinn here finding a big value of hurt against them, but Winter is trying to stay alive in this fight. Whoever's going to fall first is going to be losing their ability, and that's going to be Aquilian there. Just missing the wall. Stargaze has to back off as Winter is pushing on ahead, ignoring the turret just for some more eliminations. Adam Jr. has to be very careful while relying on their healers to provide the spam damage as needed. It's going to be very difficult for either side to try to get some distance made here. You're really relying on some headshots to be found here from either side. Going to be looking at a coin here, now making the push in. Gets walled off immediately, but thanks to Gibby, they're able to make a push into against them. And the window's been activated here by the Baptiste. They're going to try to utilize it as they push into their backline here. Flagmaster has activated the Coalescence. Their goal is to get them alive and to keep them moving. Like DC there from the side of Thomas College's coach, but the team's going to have to work without him regardless. Now going to be seen here with Valkyrie activating the railgun here. Going to be seeing a call for pause here. Just a moment probably to get their coach right back on in. Number of technical difficulties here, so we do apologize for the pauses that we're seeing across the board here. Everything should get situated momentarily. I'm going to be trying to see here what the strategy is going in for both sides. You're going to be seeing alts available for both the Vikings and the Terriers here. Terriers only have 2 alts to work with, Annihilation and Molten Core, while from the side of the Vikings, they're going to have Annihilation, Blizzard, as well as Overclock. Whoever's going to be able to find the hits first, whoever gets an elimination first, will take the lead in the fight, especially if that's going to be coming out against Stargaze or Pranksters. Either one of them falls, and it's going to be a cleanup. Now, with 2 minutes remaining, Thomas College does not have too much time to work with. They're going to have to really win this next fight here once the pause ends in order to make sure they have enough of a time bank to push through the map. You want to make sure that if you're going to be losing any sort of fights, that you are able to come back as a group in a team, that you don't get staggered and taken out one by one. Now it seems we're going to be getting out of the pause here and loading right back in. Who's going to be ready for this? Seems Winter was, as Valkyrie tried to come around the side to get some damage going. May does fall, as it said there. They were trying to go for it immediately. Jacoby, however, does get taken out in return, and Aquilian's able to make a trade-up without having to use their own Annihilation. This is a great situation here for Thomas College, as they're just trying to play cleanup crew here, but they need to commit by pushing into them hard in order to make sure they cannot stall for point, especially with Blizzard coming back around. Blizzard's going to be deployed here right on the point, but it's too little too late. They do not touch in time, and that's going to cost them that point there, as you're going to be seeing Annihilation coming on through. They're going to be looking to push in as hard and fast as possible. Quillian's taking one to the head, but still alive to tell the tale. Recovery there by the side of the Vikings does give them some regroup here, as they're going to try to play for poke. Overclock is ready to work with. They just need to find a straggler around the side. Now, taking a look here, what is going on the far side here? We are going to be seeing Valkyrie on the flank, as Baptiste is trying to set up for the window around the corner here. Valkyrie has to be very careful to stay alive. This window's going to have to be tremendously big, and that's going to be the elimination coming out there against Stargaze, but the freeze does go through here. They're trying to get the more, and they do so successfully. No one from the side of Thomas College has yet to fall yet, as you're going to be seeing the push against the Vikings. The Vikings are not in a position that they can take this fight comfortably, not with ults to go in that are valuable. You have the overclock and the beat drop, but you need to hit every single headshot in order to make sure that it would be effective before ults are met behind them. And that's just a rundown into the back line there, as you lose Captain Junior, who's holding on to that overclock. Unfortunately for the side of the Vikings, Blizzard did not find any value, but take a look here. Colas is going in as well as the beat drop. Either side looking for a pick, but the first pick is going to be Winter here, as you're seeing Jacob hunt down the May here, trying to see what else they can find. Able to squelch their opponents off into a corner. They're going to be running their way on in as they try to go and gap the point. That's going to be the checkpoint there. And we're still seeing that this overclock has not been utilized here by Captain Junior. I believe you're going to have to see this put into effect sooner rather than later. Otherwise, it's really just sitting on wasted potential. Archery playing a little too close to the sun, but still makes it out alive. You're going to be seeing spam coming out from Pranksters as the Torb is able to get a good amount of damage going. Take a look at healers from either side here. You're going to be seeing Playmaster able to keep people alive, but look above, over top. Bog's going to try to have to help with the overclocks here. Annihilation is into effect as Winter pushes on through. Goyan's overextended, unfortunately too far for his own good, and will be punished for it here. Now it's just follow-up as they're able to just clean up whoever is left. However, you will be seeing that Jay Gibby as well as Pranksters is able to get out alive. Stream broken? I don't believe so, Vintage, as you're just going to have to refresh the stream there. Nonetheless, going to be looking for a push up here. Looking to see what they can find. That's going to be the first pick off there around the side. They're going to be looking for another as the tank Winter is trying to hunt down Jay Gibby. Jay Gibby does get shut down by Captain Junior here, who's now going to have to help Winter stay alive. Bog's able to keep him up with the beat drop and using the shield to block off the Annihilation Decay. But unfortunately for Aquilian, that Annihilation Decay was a little too much too great. You are going to be seeing that damage over going on out, but not able to find any pickups. However, Thomas College here is stuck in a corner of back, and it's 4v4. Blizzard's going to be coming out from the May Stargaze as they're going to be looking to hunt this backline. Bog is hungry for more. Things are looking better for the Vikings, but only after having stopped the third point push here. It'll be looking for a pickup here against the Moira Swagmaster if they peek Valkyrie once more.
Thanks for the help.
Just trying to play with spam here as they're going for a beautiful headshot setup here against Stargaze. Going to try to beach it here momentarily. Will they get it? Not quite, as they're just trying to save it up for when the value is right. In response, Captain Junior is now going to be having to play it on back, as well as Winter. This Molten Core has pushed in strong and fierce. But what's this? We're now going to be seeing the overclock in effect. Finds the first, looking for the second here. Just misses its shot. However, the damage is powerful, as you're even seeing Jay Gibby not really being able to stay alive through this fight here. Beat drop's been activated, and Jay Gibby is taken on out. There's only 50 seconds remaining. It's going to have to be a complete regroup. So 40 seconds remaining here, and it can go either way. It's all going to be about utilization of ults into this last fight. You're seeing the Annihilation, Overclock, as well as Window coming out from side of Thomas College, while for Cleveland State, they're going to be using Coalescence and Annihilation. So Thomas College has more in the bank to work with, and they're going to have to build it up as fast as possible to use them all at once in this last fight. Prepare for an alt fest. Going to be seeing the initiation here by Aquilian. Going to be trying to take this backline high ground. Window's been activated here. Trying their best to get on through, but they don't activate it quite yet. Instead, you find a double pick coming on out, and Winter, unfortunately, does not push on in when they need to in order to stall the point.
Score 0-3.
So what does that mean? Well, that means that Thomas College reaches its final destination. Now, it is up to the Terriers to defend their point. They need to make sure that the Vikings do not reach the final destination, as it's glitching out, surprisingly. Odd. Seeing a bit of time lapse. Nonetheless, here we are going to be having the side swap, and probably not going to be having too much change in the composition, but I will expect to see on the attacker's side here, the Vikings, some different play style. Maybe you keep the Mei, maybe you switch up the Moira, but there it is. You see a Reaper on the selection screen. Could just swap on back, as Soldierin is not a bad character to play as. But if you're looking to run fast and hard, you can deal a great amount of damage in a short amount of time.
Born of science, seeking answers.
So, what does this mean for the Terriers? The Terriers need to make sure they get themselves in a great position here. Their idea is going to be holding this high ground while also poking out the alleyway here. And you may see that Jay Gibby is going to be playing down low just to help the team out with stalling the point when needed. But the first ones to drop will probably be the tank if the fight is through main. This is going to be a big funnel for everything, but take a look here on the far side. They go for an initial touch to move the point without giving away their comp. They see the Mei, they see the Moira, they see Lucio, but now the rush is coming on out. You're going to be looking at Captain Junior, the push on in, but Swagmaster has fallen. So now it's going to have to be an immediate retreat, but you will be seeing Winter stay on card to get this far as possible. As for the side of Thomas College here, they're going to be playing around the side sneakily, trying to see what other spam they can push on in. Slower going to come on out and deal some damage, letting them know that, hey, someone's coming around. Now it's just a matter of time for the engagement here. Going to be starting to make their way up with Stargates here. They're going to try to look to see who they can wall on off if it falls. And now they use it as a shield. But no one to really actually find the eliminations there. Winter is forced back into the cubby and has to rotate on around as he is hunted down from behind, just left for dead. Now all that is left here is just under 3 minutes. The turret does fall as you're going to be seeing the initial kickoff there. Yep, Vincent Waffles, I figured it as much. Now nonetheless here, you're probably going to be seeing another push up to high ground, but let this be clear that no ults have been gained from either side. Quite literally, it's been too quick of fights and too fast of deaths to be able to find any value going into this. But rather than pushing the high ground, they're just trying to control the points. So you're going to be seeing this engagement coming in fast and hard, especially as Valkyrie plays recklessly in front. Now trying to stay alive here, Korean trying to use their Nemesis form just to escape the fight here, because they're just trying to play for stall. They're not looking to die here. Mortality gets destroyed as you're going to be seeing this next engagement up through the ramp here. It's going to really come out if they can get the wall off, but Molten Core has been put into effect, so now they have been completely zoned off the point with more time a-ticking. Going to have Winter push on through the damage here as Molten Core subsides. Wall comes on out as Aquarian tries to run away. Does manage to escape as the window's been activated. Window's going to be able to double any sort of damage or healing projectile passing on through it. And Prankster finds that initial value against Swagmaster. Going to be catching the Mei out from behind while keeping the team alive. Doing a great job for the side of the Terriers. It's an unfortunate situation, however, for Bog and Winter, as Bog is going to get taken on down here before Winter can escape. And Winter is in no better situation themselves, getting staggered on now with a minute remaining. If Thomas College chooses, they could chase down the stragglers here that have peeked out of spawn, but it's not going to be likely, as we're now going to be seeing the rotation back towards the point. Both sides are going to be working with ults here, but it's going to be an ult fest coming out here from the Vikings. The Vikings are going to be starting to initiate with a speed boost speed drop into the Mei ult. Wall's going to be coming out big here as Annihilation's been put into effect by Aquarian, who does escape through the Mei Blizzard. They are not able to get back into the Immortality field in time as Aquarian falls. Winter's going to have to get pushed on back. Wall comes up, but Captain Junior with the triple, make that a quadruple kill on a 5-player kill streak, able to get that team kill there. However, it's 5 seconds remaining, and let it be known that with that immediate death, there's still time for a touch. You're going to have to see it come out from a groin here from above, but they need to break the wall and not able to do so in time. First checkpoint is taken by the Vikings. Now going to be seeing them rotate on up here. Winter's going to start to take some space. I mean, take a look at how they're trying to use the ramp there to try to scare off the Terriers while keeping the cart moving. As for the Terriers here, they're not going to be trying to engage this, not doing so, knowing that the May has their wall available. Speaking of May, going to be seeing that spam coming on out there, looking for a push, and Bog's going to have to be the one to initiate the speed boost as Window is activated. Window's going to be able to find some great value here, scaring off the opposition as they're able to get some damage going, but no eliminations to be found as Coalesce has been activated. Coalesce is now going to be moving their way on in, looking out for the Molten Core and Annihilation to boot. Beat Drop's been activated by the side of the Terriers. A boop into the Molten Core, but still lives to tell the tale thanks to Nemesis form. You do lose your Lucio there, and Swagmaster is in no better shape themselves. They're going to have to really run it back in order to make sure they stay alive. But only Bog had fallen there, and a number of ults were invested, both support and overclock ults from the side of the Terriers here. So for the side of the Vikings, we're looking at this May Blizzard, and it's going to be very, very big, as they're going to be throwing it in immediately. Just misses the wall up, but unfortunately for the side of the Vikings, they lose their target. The prey speeds away. Now going to be trying to get this last minute in here. It's going to have to win on this fight for some additional time, or they need to fall immediately if they lose one. It's all going to be about timing here as the beat drop comes in by Bog. You're going to be rushing it on through as Aquarian meets them with the Annihilation. Annihilation trying to find some damage going, but not to be found, as you're going to be seeing the Coalescence activated and pushing on through to the rest of the support line here. Aquarian just loses his Nemesis form, and it's now going to be a war of attrition. The window has been activated here, as you're going to be seeing a damage dealing push through the side. They're double backing here as they do not want to fall down, and falling down, unfortunately they do. They lose one, they lose two. May needs to stay alive here for the touch, trying to stay in the freeze. They're able to get the Death Blossom off, but does not find any kills as Winter's the last one alive. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe anyone else is going to be able to make the touch as the Terriers take map number 2. Going to be seeing play of the game from none other than Valkyrie. Watch out for Alkalites of Medusa here, as they are snipers. Your petrification and fear, as you don't want to be caught out by one such as these. Now I'm going to be heading over to a quick break here. Score is 1-1. We're going to be in for the long haul now, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is not another story. This is not another drill. I refuse to be another number now. Never staying down. This is something real. I remember. Oh, they'll remember. I do it for the glory. I do it for the glory. I do it for the glory. I do it for the glory.
Alright, we are back. A very quick break at that. We are heading on over to Flashpoint now. Now, what is Flashpoint? Well, think of it like this. It's King of the Hill, the control center. You have 5 points all around the map. First one, we're going to be starting here on Market. First to get 3 of the 5 points wins the map. Now, these points, there's a little something special about them. They capture twice as fast as a regular King of the Hill game. So for these teams, they're going to get at most 1 to 2 fights in before they're going to have to just go for the next point. Now, it's going to come down really to strategy, as each point can utilize different compositions here. So it's really imperative that either side is very cognizant of their playstyle and of their synergy as a team to move in as a unit. But without further ado, we're going to be going right on in immediately. Winter's actually going to be starting off on the Junker Queen, something that we don't usually see, as we were looking at a Ram mirror the entire time. And you also see Stargaze swapping on over to the Tracer there, trying to get on point immediately, able to make that glitch jump. And as we move over to Aquilian here, we're going to start trying to play the point here. But the point will unlock momentarily, so it's going to be imperative that you find those eliminations to go. Dive hitting beautifully, able to yoink them right back on in. Not able to get the escape there. One of the best abilities you're going to be seeing out of a tank there, which is the Junker Queen. Being able to push your enemies however you want around, while applying bleed damage to heal over time. There is a bit of a hunt there for Jay Gibby, but Jay Gibby escapes with plenty of health to work with. There is the swap over the Kiriko off of the Moira here by the side of Thomas College. This is going to be an interesting play, as what they're trying to do is just play fast and hard with damage and aggression against the Vikings. The Vikings, however, are used to such situations, and they're going to be looking to see how they can apply themselves going on in. You get the axe swing, which helps heal for damage dealt and pulls themselves forward for this fight. Aquilian is in a world of hurt here, trying to stay alive with the block, but needs to be careful, as each knife into the chest will cost you some more time on point. Now going to be looking for the rampage, goes on through, finds the first bleed, second bleed, looking for the third. Will it find it? Not quite yet, but Annihilation has been invested, so that's going to be an ult down for the side of the Terriers, as they're able to stagger out Playmaster. And with that, unfortunately for Thomas College, they're not going to be able to capture this point here, so we move on to the next site. Seems that the push here is now to make their way over to the Palace, as it's going to be important to get this high ground here for the match. There is going to be the first down. Swagmaster crumpled like a carrot through the center. Aquilian now swapping over to the Junker Queen. They're going to be aggressively pushing into Captain Jr. as well as the backline. Winter trying to stay alive, but cannot, as the force is too great to deal with. Lucio decides to give it on up, and it's better just to regroup as they fall. Going to be looking to see what they can do here for this initial fight to start. I mean, you have the overclock, you have the beat drop, and coming up on the pulse bomb, it's going to be imperative that the Vikings get a stick here when going on into it. As for the side of Thomas College, they have plenty of ults that work well together in synergy, but the fight here is going to be on the high ground. Take a look at this, as we're going to be seeing Windsor push on into the back line. They're trying immediately to get some value going, but unfortunately for them, they have staggered themselves out for the initial engagement, so it makes this a little more difficult to deal with. Now there is the ult coming on out here from Playmaster, who gets shut on down by Captain Junior. That is not what you want to have seen happen, but luckily for the Terriers, they're able to hold on out. And with that, they're now going to be looking to capture this point within the next 15 seconds or so. Not a whole lot of time left for a contest here from the side of the Vikings, but they may have to choose to give up this point if they cannot push into the main. Looking to get rid of the turret, you are going to be hearing the overclock activated as beat drop goes on in. Winston trying to deal some damage, but does not win this 1v1 here to start. We're trying desperately to keep the team alive. They're running out of heals. It is not looking good. Things could go south, but they start to look up as they're finally able to get the kills they were looking for without using much of any ults at all. This is a great turnaround for the side of the Vikings, but it could only be temporary. I mean, take a look at the Terriers here. They're going to have the Rampage as well as the beat drop. It's only a matter of time before they get Molten Core as well. Speaking of Molten Core, you're going to be seeing Pranksters getting the taxi here to get on back as they start to make their way in here. Looking for some initial headshots. If they can hit them beautifully done, then they will find a great startup pick for themselves. Now looking for some annihilation marks. Going to be moving in with the coin, but watch out! Here comes the Rampage from behind! Rampage is going to be met here by the Terriers, but it misses completely everybody. Flagmares is going to be moving their way on in with the Coalescence as they keep them up, which is not dying quite yet. They're not getting down, and they're trying to fight on through this. The Dragon Blade being invested in, although I don't believe it should have been, they wanted to make sure they had that point there, as there is not a chance left for the side of Thomas College to get on the point. They're going to have to give this one up over to the Vikings and fight for the next. Trying to make a prediction here that's going to be making its way over to the Garden. It does not. Instead, it's going to be heading over to the Temple. Temple over here is just around the corner. It's a beautiful yet open enclosure. Open enclosure, you might ask? Well, take a look. In this bell tower here, you are going to be seeing the engagement from afar, as it's Thomas College who finds the initial hold on site. It's going to really come down to Playmaster's Kitsune Rush.
This ends now.
But watch out, as the overclock's coming out from Captain Junior on the point. They're able to find Swagmaster in return. But, however, it's going to come down to this point capture here. And I don't believe Thomas College is one to give it on up. They are hungry for their picks, and they are going to have them here today. Couple of boops off the side of the map there. Truly unfortunate for the side of the Vikings. However, the Terriers need as much ult charge as they can get for this type of enclosed and small point with tons of corners. This is a great situation for them to work with here going in. Now going to be looking to see this engagement here as Stargaze is on Genji. Since the last point, they're going to have to try to see some spam going in, as well as reflection from the Molten Core. Overclock has been activated here. They're able to get their push-offs as needed. Now just trying to see if they can finish off Stargaze here. Has to watch out for Boggs, who does get the send away. Valkyrie almost falling victim to Swagmaster. They're just going to try to play to regroup here, but Swagmaster gets knifed and yoinked back. That's unfortunate for them, as this point very well probably is going to be going over to the Terriers here. There's not time nor reason to be fighting for it. Now playing in the market, you're going to have to try to see, do we head to the Ruins or the Gardens next? And it is going to be the Gardens. This gives a big opportunity over to the side of the Vikings here to make a push-up. Try to see if they can get on point before the Terriers here. They need to just be able to win this last one to shut them out. as it's currently 1-1 in the series here. Going to be looking for an initial setup here with the assistance of Bog right behind them to push on in deep. But rather than trying to commit, they're just trying to see if they can scare them back before making them have to utilize their ults. Just waiting for this engagement here, trying to build up to the Kitsune rush. Watch out, Rampage and every other ult you can imagine has been invested as they're pushing on in, and it's going to be the Terriers that are falling victim to this fight. Coming out with some additional damage. You do see Playmaster teleport away successfully, but only for a mere moment, as Prankster is about to get caught on out, not able to get out alive, and forced to play a back. This is a great situation here for the Vikings. They are up by 2. They need one more just to shut down this map and get another point on the board in this best of 5 series. They have Overclock to work with, but that's it. So this is going to be a heavy duty for Captain Junior to meet. They need to try to get these pickoffs for the initiation of this fight. As for Pranksters and Valkyrie, they're going to try to do the same here, as if they can build up their overclock here, they're looking to just try to find some picks to assist a Coin who's running it on in, trying to get the initial pickoffs here, making their way on through. Just coming over to the side, waiting for an opportunity. The point turns over to Thomas College, but it's one that's going to be fought heavily for, as you see the retreat coming out from the side of Cleveland State. Now Cleveland here does get a trade-off against Jay Gibby. That's going to be one down for the Terriers, and with Coalescence available, they can commit to the point. Damage Orb going on and not going to be finding much of any value here, but it's going to really come down to this Rampage in order to try to shut down the ability of Coalescence to truly shine. Playmaster does find Stargaze as Playmaster gets taken on down themselves, and it's not the focus on Aquilian, rather it's everyone else. They want Aquilian last, as they want to take down everyone that's trying to support them. There's not a whole lot of time to work with here. It's going to have to be a mad dash rush to the site. Will they be able to make it? It's very unlikely. It's going to have to be up to Jay Gibby here. Jay Gibby not able to make it in time, as Cleveland State University takes their second map. And in hand here, Captain Junior, the assassin from afar, being able to utilize their railguns oh so expertly. They found some great picks, helping set up the team for success here while they cleaned up the stragglers from afar. We're going to be heading over to a quick break once more. We could see this as the match point, ladies and gentlemen, into this next fight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alright, we are back. It was a very quick break. I'm not sure if it was a minute or two there that passed, but nonetheless, we are headed on over to Push. Welcome to New Queen Street. Located here in the heart of Toronto, Canada, you are going to have the objective similar to Escort. The goal is to push your barricade to its final destination. If you do, you win the map outright, unlike Escort. So now, it's going to be a challenge here for either side, as this map is utilized by both Brawl and Dive alike. Now, going to be seeing here no changes from the side of the Vikings here, as they are actually going to stay on the same comp they were on going into Flashpoint. As for the side of Thomas College, they've subbed back in Azukita out for Playmaster, as they want to try to match their Brawl here. Now going to be leading on into start here, Stargaze. They're really looking to try to see what they can find on the high ground here, much around the corner. Same going to be said for the side of Thomas College here, as you're going to be making this push around the side of the point. You have to be very careful not to get booped off the edge. It can be very disastrous, especially if you're seeing someone like Winter who's playing too close to the edge themselves. However, that is 2 down, as Captain Junior doesn't just find one, but the second, and going for a hungry third with the assistance of Stargaze to clean it on up. That's a complete team kill.
That's what I like to see.
Now, we will be seeing that Jay Gibby might not actually have perished there, but nonetheless, the team was wiped and they had to regroup here. With 10 minutes on the board here for either side to make it as far as possible, it's going to be a war of attrition going into this battle. Taking a look at Bog. Bog has probably the most ult charge here in the game to start. They're going to try to be building up to the B drop to be ready for some fights. Going to be able to get the knife going on through, but not hitting its marks. In response, you will be seeing the Terriers start to go on the hunt here. They're moving fast and rowdy. They're trying to see if they can take out the support line here as Coalescence gets activated. Coalescence going on with Valkyrie, but Valkyrie is immediately shut down by Captain Junior, no less. Finds the Reaper, and although there was a great initial start, unfortunately for the Terriers, their momentum dried up like a well in the heat. They're going to have to try to regroup for this next fight here. It's going to be a very, very difficult situation to start. As reminder, this is match point territory, and if this continues, Thomas College will be knocked out of the playoffs here. They need to keep this mental in mind, understand what is on the line here as they fight. So for Thomas College, they need to make sure they do not give up this first checkpoint in order to not allow the opposing side, the Vikings, to get close spawn, but they do. That is completely unfortunate for the side of Thomas College. They're going to have to now react to the fights here. We do see the swap over to the Cassidy here. The Cowboy with a big iron on his hip, and he's looking for some gunning. They have to deal a good amount of damage initially to the Drunk Queen, marking that hinder. However, once again, just too much damage to be handled. That's going to be another team wipe there. So now the point's going to progress here. They did lose their tank to that last fight, as you're now going to be seeing the tank swap here out from Aquilian. Prankster does have Molten Core, but it's going to have to try to target the backline here if it will find any value. Headshots are also going to be very imperative around this corner here as they make their progression. Now going to be looking for the push-up here. It's going to be led here by Aquilian. They set up, but Captain Junior finds another. Probably going to be seen for the overclock to go on in. Nope, it's the Blade instead. They are hungry for some damage, and they do find it, but it's going to be matched at a price. 2 for the price of 1 here. Face off against Captain Junior, getting more and more damage. Jay Gibby goes aggressively for the front line. It does find a pick with Aquilian there to help set them up for a push to try to counteract what they've had to deal with to start here. Swagmaster does get knifed, but able to vanish away like a hat trick. Whoops. Gonna be having them move on out here. Let's see what Thomas College can do. They have to get it back to mid-center if they're going to be able to get rid of the close spawn. Close spawn has now been taken away from the side of the Vikings. However, everyone is already in position here. You're going to have to see a big ult coming out from Azukita with this high noon. Even if it finds only one is good enough. They have to be careful of the Genji here from afar, as well as the soldier with their railgun. However, worry not, ladies and gents, as the Terriers have found their groove and footing and are now taking the fight to the Vikings. Vikings here having to force themselves on back, almost hitting that flashbang, but not quite as the Sticky Nade is sent away. Going to be seeing ults ready for either side. Could be seeing a beat drop in response to either's Rampage coming on in here. High Noon's been activated. It finds one! Fog has fallen down! Overclock has been activated by Captain Junior here. Captain Junior able to find Valkyrie, but the beat drop is hit in response by the side of Thomas College here. Rampage going on through by Aquilian, who's able to hunt down Captain Junior. Just one after the other falling like flies. You have to try to make sure you get a regroup here from the side of the Vikings to be able to push for this next fight. They need to try to get the lead here, Thomas College does. But the Vikings know this. They're going to try to make sure that does not happen, especially as you're going to be seeing the Rampage ready to go online, as well as Beat Drop making the way on in. Rampage been activated. It finds everyone from the side of Thomas College. Their first, second, third, fourth, and fifth player down and out. Now, despite a beautiful team kill there is the close spawn. So that is Thomas College's only saving grace going into this next engagement here. They're going to have to be prepared for the Genji Blade as well as the beat drop and coalescence. It's going to be a big fight here around the stairwell as Molten Core has been activated. It's now support ults in the works here, but it does not really find the value they're looking for. Unfortunately for the side of Thomas College, Pranksters was not able to get enough Molten Core out in front. Coalescence is met by the side of the Terriers here as they try to push on through with some additional damage. They need to find a pick to get them going for this initiation, because unbeknownst to them, coming in from the top ropes here is going to be Stargaze with the Dragon Blades. Beat Drop's been hit, but now you're going to have to see a follow-up here as you've lost two already. Captain Junior instead now trying to save the ults as it's not worth investing in that fight. Swagmaster here could get caught on out, uses the self-heal, tries to teleport away, but not going to be able to. That drift away was only a matter of time before a stagger. So now it's going to be really coming down to the Vikings. The Vikings need to shut down this High Noon here, who just misses the mark. Caught in the blizzard of death. The slow orb does its damage, as well as Rampage finding the first, second, and third kill. You're seeing Swagmaster desperately trying to stay alive on point with the railgun activated by Overclock, but it's not enough. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas College has now taken the lead. So this means that Thomas College, if time expires, will win the map. So for the Vikings here, they need to reclaim this spot, get it even farther than Thomas College here in order to have a comeback. You do see the swap over to the Malgua, one of the newest tanks in Overwatch here, who's able to just deal a blistering amount of damage. That's an odd spot for a turret in the map, surprisingly. Some oddity there, as you're going to be seeing Thomas College hard retreat as they're falling one by one from the flankers and ambushers in front of them. Stargaze does fall, which is not great for the side of the Vikings here to start, especially given that you're looking at a 4v5 setup here. Captain Junior needs to escape in time to live, but gets caught on the wall. Does make it around the side as Coalescence is activated by either side. It's going to really come up till Winter here to try to lay down the law with the damage dealing, as well as the slamming charge. They almost find Aquarian. Aquarian is in a big deal of damage as dual beat drop's been activated. Going to be hit point blank. Aquarian finds the pickoff. They do see the swap over to the Hanzo here, but not able to find the eliminations. It's just a staggerfest coming on out here from the side of the Vikings. They really need to just get a regroup going for this next fight. There's 40 seconds remaining in the match. The Vikings need something to work with here going in. As for Thomas College, they're holding strong and true. They're trying to make sure that they can keep this corner in control. It's going to be a big play here for ults coming on in. Take a look at Aquilian with the Rampage just setting on up here. But what's this? Cage fight's been activated. No one can leave the cage now. High Noon is in effect, finds the Hanzo. Rampage gets caught on a light pole as it's going to come down to this final engagement here. Captain Jr. is not able to get their ult off as you're keeping Swagmaster alive on point. Valkyrie over the Fine 2 and now activating the Coalescence themselves. They're looking to see if they can find the Lucio. They do find the Lucio. Now looking for Doomfist. Doomfist is about to fall. Does fall indeed. Now trying to find the Hanzo. Hanzo's going to be the last one alive here and down and out. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas College is staying alive in the series and we're heading into a match point. It all came down to this final play here. Winter had the great initiation with this beautiful Rampage, finding the entire team decimated from the side of Thomas College. Unfortunately for them, it wasn't enough to win the map. So now we'll come down to the final map. It's going to be a King of the Hill that you will be seeing in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Got a hunger, I gotta feed my soul. The gates are open, so release the bulls. Don't hold me back no more, unleash the beast inside. Stand up with my pride, I was born to toe the line. I'm ready to light the fire inside. Chosen, we got the keys to the town. Yeah. And no one's gonna take our crown. We're gonna bring it home and take them one by one. Yeah. Get up and knock them down, rise up like the sun. Are you ready to ignite the fire inside? Tonight were made for this. Living in a blacktop jungle, running with a wild-eyed hunger. Everybody try to test you, no shelter from the rain and the thunder. Fighting in a concrete wasteland, watch them while they sink like quicksand. Everybody try to shake you, and they could come and try, you don't give a damn. You're stronger now, can't hold you down, you're breaking out. You were never born to quit, you gotta stand up. You were made for this, keep on throwing rocks and fists, you gotta stand up. You were made for this. Whoa. Stand up. You were made for this. Whoa. Stand up. You were made for this. Standing on the edge of nowhere, you can make them freeze with a cold stare. Everybody try to change you, stand tall head first into danger. Swing until you stun the crowd, yeah. Lay them out 6 feet underground, yeah. Everybody try to hold you, ready to brawl, foul mouth, never kosher. But you're stronger now, I can't hold you down, you're breaking out. Because you were never born to quit, you gotta stand up. You were made for this, so keep on throwing rocks and fists, you gotta stand up. You were made for this. Whoa. Stand up. You were made for this. Whoa. Stand up. You were made for this. A heart attacker, a lip smacker, I run them down like an off-road tracker, a firecracker, a chip stacker, I sucker punch with a real heat packer. A heart attacker, a lip smacker, I run them down like an off-road tracker, a firecracker, a chip stacker, I sucker punch with a real heat packer. But you're stronger now, I can't hold you down, you're breaking out. Because you were never born to quit, you gotta stand up. You were made for this, so keep on throwing rocks and fists, you gotta stand up. You were made for this. Cause you were never born to quit, you gotta stand up. You were made for this, so keep on throwing rocks and fists, you gotta stand up. You were made for this, yeah. Stand up. You were made for this. Don't have to wait for it, cause you were made for it, yeah. You were made for this, yeah. Whoa, you were made for this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final match. We are now headed on over to King's Row, a hybrid map, believe it or not. It's been so long that we literally have not seen this map in the entire season. Now going to be met here is going to be an attack in the fence style. As the name implies, it's a hybrid style map where you have to first capture the first point, and from there it turns into an escort mission to get the car to its final destination. Whoever has the most progress wins. second checkpoint will be here, as the third checkpoint will be found in the center of the Omnic units. But here is the first point. So now it's going to be up to either side to really take it to them. Going to be seeing the Widow selection here coming out from Stargaze, seeing if they can catch anyone out that is not paying attention. But that's not going to be happening here, as we're going to be seeing from the Terriers, who are now on the defense to start. They're hunkering down in the statue, waiting for this engagement here, but it's not going to be pushed in yet by the side of the Vikings until they have May here now. They're going to be doing a far rotation as the turret has activated, allowing them to rotate back. It's now in an opposite sort of attack and defense position here, where it appears that the attackers have become the defenders and vice versa. Trying to make utilization of this hotel worth, which is Alderworth. But that's going to be a hard-fought situation, especially as you lose Swagmaster going into this fight here. May is going to be the next one to fall. Lucio trying to make the escape, but Aquilian's not having it today. It's going to be a hunt for the tank, but we will see that Winter is able to get out in time. Both sides are waiting to just build up their ults going into this fight here, and it's going to be a reset yet again inside the statue. They do spot the May, which gives them the notice, hey, here they come, and they're hungry. Gonna be looking for this fight coming around this side here, just trying to build up ults. You will be seeing Valkyrie is in a very bad situation, but it does not matter, as Valkyrie themselves is now going to be initiating with the Coalescence, but they get taken down by Stargaze. Now going to be met here by Swagmaster's Coalescence going on into it, but the beat drop has been activated by the side of Thomas College here. They have lost a member of their team, but it's not going to stop them from trying to hold on out. You're going to see the Blizzard coming on out. Beautiful block off against Aquilian there. Aquilian tries to trade on up, who is actually getting to a defensive position before the freeze takes effect. Jacoby has fallen, and things are looking dire for the Terriers. It's going to have to be coming up to the Reaper here. Reaper needs to find the biggest value possible, but he gets pushed away before he can really make a difference. So now with the first point captured, there's 4 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock to get it to its second checkpoint. You have a great setup here by the Vikings, but the Terriers are going to be rushing their way on back. They're sticking to their guns, and they're going to try to be holding these corners and high grounds. But it's going to really come down to pressure, 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 as if you're going to be able to try to keep back the May from being able to get those walls. And when they do wall, you make sure you cover your tank there for the fight. Gonna be now looking for the push in here by Winter and Aquilian. Annihilation ready for either side. Who's gonna be starting this fight? Dare I say, it's going to be Thomas College with Reaper coming up from the top ropes. It's going to be a Death Blossom going on, and finds Bond to start with, as Winter is the next to fall and finds a big value play there. Azukita with the triple kill, able to stop the point in its tracks. A beautiful play there from the Terriers. Technical to a T, being able to get them set up for a stopping point and build up ults for themselves for this next engagement, because they're going to have to be ready for a complete ult fest here going on into it. And it's going to be led here by Stargaze, who's going to help get the wall going. Coalescence has been activated to try to use Coalescence in return, as Molten Core has been activated here by Pranksters. Azukita is on the hunt for burning enemies. May's going to be one that's in the most danger, but catch 22, ladies and gents. It's going to be Thomas that's returning the favor. Now it's 1-1 here, and Azukita able to find two, but gets taken down themselves. Now going to be followed up by Winter here, rushing on in with Annihilation in the bank. They could use it if they want to, but they're not going to commit to it. I don't believe that should have been the play. They should have full committed, but unfortunately for them, they don't have the assistance there by Captain Junior as well as the rest of the team in order to fully commit with Annihilation. So now that gives an opportunity for Aquilian to make it back in time for this next corner fight here. That's going to have to happen. Jake Gibby and Aquilian here are going to be the ones to lead on in. Annihilation is in effect. Speed drop going on through. There's a wall off against Winter. Winter being trapped out is a terrible thing to have happen, especially when it's going to be a point-blank flight. Just so much healing, so much damage, so much slowing in effect, but Prankster finds the first pick. It's now going to be Aquilian who's leading the charge on through with Jay Gibby. Jay Gibby's going to be helping them push on past any sort of opposition that they may face here. Jay Gibby going in for the hunt. They're able to get the elimination onto Winter there, and they're looking for anyone else that they can catch on out in the open. A lot of time taken away in 1:30 remaining on the clock. There is not much time left for the Vikings to get a push here. So they've built up a number of ults, but they only have Captain Juniors ready at the moment. They're building up to the Coalescence. They'll have it here for the coming fight, but they need a little more, especially from Stargaze here, who could build up the Blizzard. The Blizzard is a game changer, especially if you can get Fog to help push them into the fight. They're playing it far and away, as they're now going to be initiating with Coalescence. Coalescence coming out from either side. Azukita playing a very, very dangerous game on the high ground here against the Soldier. They're able to get the turret down, but Molten Core has gone in. That's now able to provide some space that the tank is not able to put at the moment, as they need time to recover. Look at Azukita. Azukita is now going to be going in with the Death Blossom. Here it comes! Able to find that first, and now looking for a second. Able to get that second, looking for a third. Able to find the third, and that's going to be it there. There's only 30 seconds remaining now. They were able to build up a Blizzard for the side of the Vikings, but will they have enough time to touch? You have 20 seconds remaining from the Vikings, and they need to move fast. It's coming down all to Bog to hit their team in there. They used their amp already, so they don't have a lot of time to push. They will make the touch, and a beautiful wall off here as the Blizzard's taking effect. Aquilian being saved by the beat drop there, but will be taken out potentially in the long run. It's coming down to target fire, as Jay Gibby is the first to fall. Now Valkyrie and Winter is traded back, but Stargaze is able to get it. Azukita. Things are looking dire for the side of Thomas College, but it could turn around, as you're going to be seeing Aquilian last alive. They're trying to take down Swagmaster, but he's the last one on. And ladies and gentlemen, they're going to be able to cap point number 2 and keep this map going. 1:30 will be granted, and we're going to have to see how the Terriers will defend going into this next point. You have a lot of high ground and low ground here going into the third point here on King's Row, and it's going to be imperative that both sides try to play to their strengths here. You're going to have Annihilation ready for both, but it really is going to come down to a value of picks here. If you can find an initial headshot followed up by a slow by Aquilian here, that will give them the space they need to help burn this time bank that has been ever encroaching on their territory. But that's not going to be happening anytime fast here, as it's going to be Pranksters the first to fall. Coalescence has been activated here by either side with Annihilation as well, but it's a huge Annihilation. Annihilation is able to find the first, the second, and looking for a third, but Azukita does get traded on back, so they're going to have to play it safe and afar to make sure that they stay alive for the engagement. Too many Terriers down, and you will lose space for this point that you need to later reclaim on the attack. Now going to be making their push on in. Wall comes on out from the May. May's trying desperately to get some damage going. Captain Junior does find Aquilian. The Torbjorn does get the Molten Core off as Beat Drop's been activated. Captain Junior saved by the Beat Drop themselves as a Blizzard's been activated. Torb and Jay Gibby are caught out in the open. This is disastrous, folks. Everyone is down from the side of the Terriers. It's all up to Aquilian to make a swap that will stall the point or try to regroup for this engagement. Take a look at the Reaper. Reaper needs to get moving in now and get on point. Not a whole lot of time to make this commitment here. Here it goes! Canceled out by the Doomfist, as Bog is the first to fall. However, there is going to be trades coming on out. Swagmaster able to find one, but Terriers are able to find their own picks themselves. Captain Junior is the last one alive and will be taken on down as they C9 the point. Round 1 is complete. The more I talk, the more stuffy I get.
0 to 2. Switching sides.
Well, this is about as far as the point will get here on the hybrid map. It's a great distance made here by the side of Cleveland State University. But the Vikings now need to play on the defensive. It's now their home territory that they need to stop these wild dogs known as the Terriers from ravaging. We'll see which side's going to be really standing on top here. And personally, I think that the Terriers might be able to do it here. They've been very aggressive even against this Mei. Now, Meis are better defensively in these sort of compositions, so you may see a turnaround here by the side of the Vikings, but don't put it past Thomas College. Thomas College is a very solid team. They know how to work together, they know how to communicate their cooldowns, and sometimes they don't even communicate it. They just feel it, and they're able to go on in with the confidence that their team has their back. That is the type of game style that you want playing into these maps here, especially in the playoff series. Both sides ready on up here. We're going to tune in here to Pranksters, who was just doing some initial scouting, not going to be locking in the Widow for initial picks. But take a look over here at Bog. Bog is actually staying around the building, trying to keep towards high ground and a distance, while Winter is committing in aggressively. This is a very dangerous situation to be in as a tank, especially when you're playing around the statue. If no one commits with you, it's going to be bad. However, for the side of the Vikings, they're in a great position to move on in as they find Valkyrie to start. Okoyen's next to fall, as well as Jay Gibby. Prankster has to get out alive if possible. They could find him if he gets marked by the Coalescence Orbs. Just barely able to stay alive thanks to the overdrive. And you're now going to be seeing the spam take out that turret. Both sides are just trying to build up for ultimates here, but you're once again probably going to be seeing it coming out from Bog here. As Captain Junior, with the assistance of Stargaze, finds their first pick going on in. Stargaze needs the assistance, as it seems there's been a bit of a miscommunication around where to rotate here. Wall comes on out, and it's beautifully catching not just one, but two players, the Reaper and the Ramatra here from the side of Thomas College. They need to escape this predicament. Aquarian trying to run away, but cannot, gets walled off yet again and staggered on out. Just 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining now. Swagmaster is fully committing to their engagement here as Torb is having a hide-and-seek moment. Crikey, look at him. He's able to make the escape there, but not for long. It's going to have to get ready for this next engagement, especially upon this Blizzard, which is going to be a big play going into the side here. Coming around the corner, sees their targets, their prey waiting to engage, but they're not actually going to meet them head on. Instead, it's going to be a high ground rotation here. They could find Bog. Bog is out in the open, and in a world of hurt, barely makes it out alive. Turret is doing also a great amount of damage there thanks to Prankster's setup that will help get some more ult charge for the side of Thomas College. They're rotated onto the high ground here, and they're playing for poke, but they need something to get them going. I mean, take a look. It's just a rotation around the back side. They're not really committing to a push here. You're now going to be seeing Aquilian drop to underneath, but this is once again very dangerous of an engagement as the Blizzard's been activated. Aquilian makes his way on through. Now it's been the Molten Core canceled by the Blizzard there, and it's a full ult fest going on in. No picks yet, but this could be proving disastrous as Winter is engaging with the Annihilation into the backline. Wall comes on out. Azukita needs to find a pick, but cannot. Annihilation has been invested here by the side of Thomas College. They need just something. They need anything. Give them an opening. Give them some breathing room. That is what I'm talking about right there from Pranksters. Pranksters able to find that first one, and they're now going to be committing over to Swagmaster. Swagmaster is down and out. Bog is going to be next as he's taken down by the pull. The Slow Orb has done its job, ladies and gentlemen, and they're able to turn the tide of this battle into their favor with just 50 seconds remaining. Captain Junior knows the fight is lost, and they're going to have to regroup here. They did a great job stalling that first point on out. They could try to go for a recommit here, but the best case scenario is to instead just capture the chokehold here with Stargaze. Thomas College definitely given a break there as they are awarded 3 minutes on the clock. Now, having to make this push around here, they're in a very tough situation. They will have to deal with Coalescence, but Azukita here has the Death Blossom making their way onto the high ground here. Does fall down, unfortunately, so they're not going to be able to make a from behind teleport. However, rather than holding up in the choke where they could have another initial fight, they're playing it very far back, being pushed against by the Coalescence walls early to try to make some space. They're just hard retreating as they now commit Coalescence themselves, pushing back against the Terriers. Darius here are going to have to play it very, very smart, especially going in with the Death Blossom! Able to get some great amount of damage dealt, but the beat drop does come out successfully to keep some players alive, and it's just enough to help keep this cart moving forward. This cart completely unabated, and now catching out Captain Junior and Bog on the flank. This is the worst case scenario you could have, especially for this last minute touch. It's going to be another minute 30 granted, so over 3 or just 3 minutes to work with going into third point here. It's going to come down really to the wire. They're going to have to commit towards this push, trying to stop it. They're getting pushed on back. They're able to make it in time with double annihilation, with the Molten Core and beat drop in effect. Azukita has fallen, as Stargaze is able to find their picks. Now taking a look at Captain Junior here. Captain Junior able to get that overclock in and working. If they can find another pick, this will spell victory for the side of Vikings. But Thomas College is not going to yet. Instead, they're able to trade it on back. Valkyrie's able to get a pick off with the orb of damage against Stargaze there. Before able to find another. Now pushing in with the Coalescence. Coalescence here is going to be assisting for hunting down the Lucio and Captain Junior. Captain Junior and Lucio are down and out, as the last one alive here is going to be Swagmaster, but Swagmaster is only going to be staggered. The fight was well fought for, as a minute 30 was granted. 2.5 minutes now to work with for an attack and a defense here. Thomas College just needs to meet this yellow box. If they can do it, they will stay in the playoffs. But same case for Vikings, they need to make sure that does not happen. At least they fall down. Lucky for Azukita, they could have been in a very bad situation from that bot. But we do see Azukita fallen. They will try to commit aggressively into the backline, but Jay Gibby falls, over-committing their position. It's now just under 2 minutes remaining. Prankster's trying to stay alive, but will be getting caught out early on, running in a straight line back to the spawn. They make it out by the hair of their chinny chin chin, but it's going to take more than that to win this fight. As you're going to be seeing here, the Blizzard is ready and available. Beautiful headshot to be found, and follow-up, but they... Captain Junior going to be able to get that initial pickoff. This is going to be playing to an Alt Fest once again. This Alt Fest is going to be big to make the push on in, but you swap off the Reaper. That is a Death Blossom gone now. There's no more potential to use it. What is the strategy here from Thomas College? Are they trying to go for long range distance that they can't make up against Reaper? Or are they trying to just make a more hindrance and cancel of abilities to slow down their targets as they make an aggressive engagement? Well, find out now, as you're going to be seeing the overclock put into effect. Molten Core also being fed through. It creates some space. One side of Thomas College, who now has to push in aggressively against the enemy Ramatra here that the Vikings have. They're trying to see if they can take down this overclock. It's a huge slowdown beat drop coming out from either side. As Coalescence and Blizzard's in effect. Do I dare see a knockaway? No siree. Instead, Aquarian does stay alive, but only for a second as Prince is able to get the healer. Coalescence now into effect as they take out Jay. Give me 30 seconds remaining on the clock now. Azukita does their best, but can only gain up to 63% there. High Noon's a big ult, but a very, very hard ult to work with here. So Annihilation's going to be the key to victory here as 10 seconds remain. Wall is going to be coming out from Stargaze, but Stargaze does not find any value out of it. Annihilation is rushing its way on through here and now, folks. Around this corner, they're going to try to get some initiation going. Unfortunately for them, they lose the DPS player. Walled on and off, that's going to slow down the ability of Annihilation having any damage effect here going on in. They need someone to get back fast and furious as Molten Core is put into effect, able to help send away some damage. They're able to keep Winter trapped in a corner. They need to focus them down in order to get a pick here, but it's not going to be showing to be true. Instead, it's going to be the Blizzard that finds the biggest value going on in here. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas College is out, and Cleveland State University advances in the playoffs. Well, despite everything here, a great show from both teams. A beautiful Death Blossom that had set them up for countless fight wins. We thank you everyone so much for watching. Although we are here from Thomas College wishing for the win, unfortunately this is the end of the line for the Overwatch team at the moment. Better luck next year, guys. But we'll be counting on you going into the off season. Until next time, I'll see you later.